he doesn't like how I administer the mods on my stream. So it's not the first time I've had to deal with this nonsense, but he loops on it because he finds stuff to complain about.
Do you
Now,
feel like he's doing it in support of your views, or do you feel like he's just causing trouble?
I feel he's just causing trouble. He's
Yeah,
insecure, so he reacts with me. He's
Jack,
Now, to
can
be
I
fair,
add something?
sometimes we are accused of just causing trouble when we strongly disagree with people, and Lord knows I've been accused of that many times. And in fact, Jack, you and I had a disagreement once where I misconstrued your general persona as just being like kind of a spiritual, not religious person. And then I came and talked to you, and then you cleared it up with me, and we've been good since then. So maybe sometimes it just takes 10 seconds to clear up the air and move on.
Not with Paul I-Fi. I'm sorry, but Jack, can I add something to the mod situation? Okay, and I asked like people, what should I do? Because I'm a mod, right? Like I got, for example, Red 40 every single day on Jack. He's gotta call me gay, and he's gotta say these things. And I asked him many times, could you please stop being like that so I don't have to time you out? He'll go back again and call me gay nonstop, and he's been timed out by other mods. So Jack, or anybody that has mods, what do you do in this situation when these people won't stop? Him, Lex, and other people. Do I time them out, or do I just let them be?
Also, dude, your audio is cracking up a lot, so you may need to reconnect.
I apologize.
I can barely hear what you're saying, but it's bubbling a lot, so it's hard to hear.
Jack, I think what happened earlier, from my observation, was it was not a failure to communicate. It was a miscommunication because I think that maybe you were interpreting what I was saying as far as like the more that people are like synchronized as far as beliefs or whatever, they actually tend to communicate less is what I said is, and that's because they don't have that much to offer one another. That doesn't mean that it's a disagreement. It actually means that there's more agreement. But I think when you were trying to interpret that, and then Paul tried to interpret, he started to interpret the other side of that. You know what I mean? Which it's great when it plays out like that because then the audience can see and then they can use their own, I would think. But so I think it was a miscommunication because he went from there to the mod scenario. But I was just like, I'm ranting.
Well, they're both gone now, so it sounds like Jack solved his problem.
no, not at
But
all.
yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't think so.
did you want to keep talking to Flo and or Paul, or was there something else you wanted to add?
Well, like you said, I-Fi, you allowed an opportunity for your mind to change.
Sure.
Paul and Flo have not. I mean, to small degrees they have, but each of them, Flo's got his economic ideals that makes him reject me, and then I don't know. There's more to it.
Ditto. I mean, we disagree on
Paul's got
politics.
his
Yeah.
right.
But I can still honestly represent your side of the conversation so long as you communicate to me clearly, as you are right now. So
Yeah,
that's fine. We can still disagree, but we don't have to call each other names and be civil about it.
that's my point. That is exactly my point. I mean,
Hey,
I
Moose.
don't, I don't know what people think I have done to deserve the just the absolute disrespect that's been presented to me. It's mind blowing.
Peace
And the
is
fact that
available, though.
is it Moose?
I think you're a bit passive in your personality, which tends to encourage more aggressive behavior from certain people.
So should I change or
No.
what?
You may have to adapt your tone of voice with depending on your audience. That's a huge problem with certain humans. For example, I'm always getting the feedback that I'm just a dickhead and I'm mean and I hurt people's feelings and stuff like that, but they never have anything to actually say against like my argument or my debate. And so I don't care if I come across as being, blunt and frank and, hurting people's feelings. But I used to spend a lot of time doing that when I was younger. Like when I was like in 20, 30 years old, I was always focused on being polite and making sure I didn't hurt anybody's feelings and, all that sort of stuff. I'm just older now and I don't give a shit. So, I just speak my mind clearly. And so sometimes I'll offend people, but I don't dwell on it. I don't worry about whether or not their feelings got hurt. I just get to the point of the discussion. So, like if we were talking about science or technology or whatever, let's talk about that. But as soon as you start interrupting with all the drama and feelings and stuff like that, you can't get any conversation done because everyone's going to have hurt feelings and they always perceive the way you said it to attack them and stuff like that. So you'll just spend days and days trying to convince them that, life's tough. Sometimes people disagree and you just got to get over it and move on. So, but anyways, that may be kind of what's happening. There's sometimes egos just, bump heads against each other and then it turns into like pissing contest to see who has the biggest PhD or whatever, and I don't get involved in those either anymore because I used to try and argue how smart I am against my audience or whatever. And I don't even bother trying to do that anymore. I just speak the truth. And then if anyone's interested, we can talk about it. And if I accidentally hurt your feelings, you can say, hey, man, that one thing you said really bummed me out. And I'll be like, I'm sorry, but maybe that's just my perception of reality and truth. And so, by the way, I'm one of those tough love type people. So again, I'm not worried about the fragile snowflakes and hurting their feelings. I just speak truth and whoever can hack it gets to hang around and then take shots at me. And then they can correct me and say, no, you actually didn't speak the truth because you thought you did, but you got this and this wrong. And then we can debate it and hack it out. So that's my
But here's the different I-Fi. Okay, like Jack said, okay, he's being attacked every single day. Like, for example, it happened yesterday with Brian's boy, Paul, and everybody else. It happened today. Even Paul came in with good, energy and peace. But like 20 minutes before he came in on his broadcast, he was talking, him and his group, about Jack not in the best way and, bashing him a little bit. Is that fair to keep doing that repeatedly every single day to Jack, where he comes here in so much peace and trying to get a word across, and then it gets him off where he gets a little aggravated and they say, oh, Jack, you're mad. Dude, you guys are doing this every single
But
day.
does Jack not have that same option if he chooses to?
Ask Jack.
The answer to your question is yes, it is fair because the moment you enter the public arena, you're fair game for anyone who's listening. And so you may not like the fact that most people, yeah,
You're making excuses. I don't buy your excuses. That's bullshit.
I understand that you expect.
Listen, I-Fi. Here's what I'm suggesting.
Yes.
I'm suggesting it could be said easily and supported that God is with me. God is with all of us. Now, in this world today, we get to choose how we treat each other. The topic of the stream today, we choose how we serve and what we serve. We choose how we share and what we share. The world, this nonsense of just because Jack Talcott chose to go live on a stream, just because of that circumstantial fact, that should not justify people and their swarming and daily attacks. That is illogical.
Not every man has the same master, Jack. So
I-Fi, we are living this life together. The society we have is what we all choose. So what I'm suggesting is that here in this, there is, there's sides that have been chosen.
Oh, yeah.
And lots of people have been choosing to oppose me. Lots of people have been gambling against me, betting against me. Matter of fact, many people, I feel, have been going out of their way because they disagree with my goals. They want to make sure I fail.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I've seen Flow State doing, what I've seen Paul doing.
And you're in a public forum, so They still have
Okay.
the freedom to share their
And
opinions.
others, I'm encouraging everyone who's not involved in this fight to see what you can do to help figure out what is true.
Definitely. Yes. And we agree on that. So that's, but
And
along
I
the way, we occasionally
Mhm.
disagree on stuff. And so maybe they're a little more passionate about their disagreements to the point where they want to undermine your work and talk you down or whatever. And that's their problem. I can't answer for them, but I'm just observing this as a third party and saying that I understand where each side's coming from. And again, I understand your desire to live in a society where we kind of self-filter. Like, if you're not with Jack, don't even come to his channel and don't sit there and poo poo on his stream or whatever. And so some people can't help it. That's all they have in life is just to antagonize people and throw poo. So,
They can't
that's
help it.
that's
They
the
just don't
public
want to.
life. That's public life. As long as we're engaged with the public, you're going to have to get used to it.
Okay, so we're just going to make excuses and say
I'm
that's
not making excuses for them. I'm saying, like, if you want to like filter your audience where only your supporters are allowed to watch or contribute, that's a choice you can make.
is it?
Yeah, you can just like,
No,
set
you're
up a
saying,
membership
I think
thing.
you're saying stuff, but I'm sorry, it's not. Tell you what, I'm just going to accept. Thank you for what you offered.
Thank you. Yep.
But I feel your grief though. I understand, like, you're trying to get a message across. Some people aren't getting it, and some people are just antagonizing you for the sake of antagonizing you. Some of those people may feel like they're trying to help you, but you are clearly perceiving that they are not helping you. And if anything, they're making your life much more burdensome and worse. And
Is there,
so, yeah.
sorry to interrupt, is there a reason you're explaining this?
Oh, that was just the end of
What?
my
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there
We get the point.
Is there a point you're getting to, or you just want to show that you're paying attention?
that's
I don't mean
enough
to be
for me.
rude. I don't mean to be rude. I'm sorry, but
I understand you're mad, so I didn't want to come talk to you while you're mad. So I was just curious where this is going. So I'll pipe down now. Thanks.
appreciate it.
Hi-Fi, can I add something again? Not only he's getting every single day people to piss him off and get him off his message. There's memes been done on Paul's and OTW about Jack, me, Lindsay, and other people. It's done almost every single day. And you think that's okay, that's fine? I don't think it's fine. This is like I think
I
like
didn't say it was
intention.
fine. I just said that's reality.
Okay, but you're saying if he doesn't agree with it, then just block him. But sometimes if he blocks him or doesn't let him in, then gets called a Nazi. And then again, we get these people trying to bash him on other situations. I think the
That's
best thing, just my opinion, is to Jack. As soon as you see it, I would just not let it happen. Don't even let it on your platform, because when you talk, like we had a really good conversation between you and Paul today. What happened after like an hour and when he just switched it and started attacking you?
Somehow it got on the topic of the mods. And here, you know what? When Paul showed up today, I was given a choice, because I actually, earlier today, I was in a great mood, feeling inspired. And I turned on Paul's stream thinking, he's showed up the past few times. He hasn't been real interruptive. It appears he's trying. So I thought I might show up and try and share some support today, only to hear backbiting, slandering, gossip, dragging my name through the fucking mud again. So I said something in the chat and I turned it off shortly after that. But every friggin' day, I don't understand. I mean, I can't change the world. I can't change the way things are. I certainly can't control people. I don't know what I've done, sincerely. I've harmed none. And yet God has allowed me to lose my family, lose my career, my life savings, my home. and to be mocked online. Praise God. I look forward to what the future brings.
Jack, can I share something with you?
Please do.
In the book it says, I just wanted to bring this to your attention. It says that the ones that are doing evil, they're doing it in the name of the Father, and they believe that they are doing the correct, you know what I'm saying, the correct works, if you will. So I mean, it just reminds me of the delusion. Like right now, as more and more people are becoming aware, whether that's just solely aware or self-awareness as well, which are both relevant, but it's like